Hi, welcome. My name is Mauh, and I am doing an Ostara celebration and altar creation video. So Ostara is one of the Sabbats on the Wheel of the Year. And if you don't know what the Wheel of the Year is, it is basically a bunch of holidays, 8 holidays that are on the Wheel of the Year. And as the wheel turns, the seasons change and the earth changes as well. So one of the Sabbats is called Ostara, and it is similar to Easter, only it is the pagan version of Easter. So I'm going to read from my book, Sabbat's Almanac, Samhain 2020 to mabon 2021. So it's accurate for this Ostara 2021. First, I'm going to be reading about the tales and traditions of Ostara. Then I will fix up my altar for Ostara. And then I will do a celebration ritual from my Celtic Tree Ritual book by Charlene Hidalgo, and we'll call it a celebration day. So let me read a little bit to you about what the tales and traditions of Ostara are. Ostara is when the Western calendar marks the official start of spring, but to me it is the middle of the season. The early flowers are already blooming and the early planting has already started. It is a time of growth and preparation, a time of expectancy and anticipation. And let me just say that Ostara is March 20th here in the Northern Hemisphere, but in the Southern Hemisphere, they are celebrating a different Sabbat because they're going into fall. Venerating the sun and moon. We think of Ostara as being a celebration of the goddess Ostara, also spelled Eoster or Easter. It's not a long stretch to see where the name for the Christian holiday came from. The name Eoster is related to the Greek goddess of the dawn. In the Wheel of the Year, springtime occupies the same space as morning in the Wheel of the Day. Eggs are a big part of this season's decorations. The shops are filled with chocolate eggs, plastic eggs, and all manner of kits and materials to decorate hens' eggs in a variety of colors. Eggs are a symbol of renewal and new life, both themes of this time of year. In Bosnia, there are street festivals featuring large vats of scrambled eggs shared freely to those who come to welcome the spring. Over the last few hundred years, this activity has grown in popularity, and people now travel from all over the country to the town of Zenica to participate in this event. The Green Man and other effigies. You will also see an upsurge in the Green Man at this time of year. Garden centers proudly display wall art and other items with the friendly face looking out of the decorative leaves. Some are quite whimsical, with vines coming out of the nose or tendrils snaking around his eyes. However he is depicted, the Green Man is a symbol of growth, fertility, and abundance. Not all seasonal effigies have to do with the coming of the warmer weather. In Switzerland, people gather to watch the ceremonial burning of a snowman's representation. This custom dates back some 500 years and is often accompanied by fireworks. In Poland, straw dolls called marzanas are thrown into the river to depict the end of winter's wrath. Over the years, this has become quite a procession, with giant dolls being paraded through the streets before meeting their eventual demise. In both of these instances, it is the passing of winter that is the focus of the activity, honoring the ancestors and welcoming the sun. In Japan, Ostara is celebrated in a week-long festival. Much of the time is spent eating and visiting under their beloved cherry trees. It's a time for family reunions and for celebrating their lives and the lives of their ancestors. On the date of the equinox, it is customary to visit the graves of their deceased loved ones, cleaning and tidying them, and leaving fresh flowers and other decorations as a sign of respect and appreciation. In Mexico, there really isn't any winter to banish, but the equinox is celebrated all the same. This is a time when citizens and visitors alike pay homage to the ways of the ancient civilizations at the shrines and temples left behind. Many of these structures act as timekeepers with specific architectural features that mark the passing of the seasons. At the Kukulkan temple in Chichen Itza, the afternoon sun casts a shadow that looks like a serpent winding down the building. People come from afar and wide to observe this rare event, which happens for a few days on either side of the equinox and lasts for an hour or so. Teotihuacan is another popular spot to visit at this time of year. People come from all over dressed in white clothing to climb up the steps and extend their arms to the sky to absorb the strong energetic vibrations of the day. Cheesy. In Gloucestershire, England, they roll a cheese down a hill every spring. Go ahead, laugh. I did when I lived over there and first saw it on the television. Called the Cooper's Hill Cheese Rolling and Wake, it's held at Cooper's Hill near Brockworth. It used to be just for the locals, but over the years it's gained worldwide notoriety, with many international winners. It's uncertain how the cheese roll started. The first recorded evidence comes from the early 19th century, but even then it is noted as a much older custom. It may have arisen from the rolling of different breads and sweets down a hill to appease the gods and ensure a good harvest. There is also speculation that it once could have had something to do with the grazing rights on the land. Today, the cheese that is rolled down the hill is a double Gloucester cheese, a hard round wheel weighing about 9 pounds. It's put into a protective wooden case, which is then decorated. As fun and entertaining as all this sounds, it's not for the faint of heart. There have been many recorded injuries as well as notable victories. Homage to the moon. My Cherokee friends hold one of their sacred festivals around this time too, the first new moon of spring festival. This is a gathering that marks the start of planting. It is a time when those who haven't seen each other for most of the winter join together for fellowship and feasting and to discuss their ideas for the coming season. It is a time of renewal and healing, of planting and purification. The fire is a central part of the ceremony. The firekeeper lights a new fire and places a cinder in it from the last council fire. All fire pits and fireplaces are thoroughly cleansed at this time, and everyone in attendance of the festival will take home a cold cinder from the festival fire to put in the first fire they light at their own hearth, thus bringing the energy of the gathering home with them. This echoes the theme of newness and purification that permeates this festival, which traditionally lasted, including preparation time, for around a week, but now tends to happen over a weekend. Honoring the ways. As you can see, there are many ways you can deviate from the traditional eggs and bunnies, yet still honor Ostara. If you wanted to reenact one of the above activities, you could do so by hosting an egg-based potluck supper, making dolls to symbolically drown, or even reproduce your own version of the cheese rolling. This is also a good time to visit the graves of your loved ones, as the Japanese do, and freshen them up to welcome in the spring. This is a very busy time of year, with garden preparations and nature bursting forth in readiness for growth and renewal. It's easy to get too busy, to become too over-animated with plans and projects. Another good activity for Ostara is to take time out, enter into the sanctuary of your soul, and remember what peace can be found by doing so. If you're working with a group, you might want to consider a guided meditation, giving your spirit a chance to slow down to the speed of life. If your work is solitary, this is an excellent way to end your Ostara observances. Ostara is a wonderful time to practice your divination skills too. We once held a flower sentience where our friend Joanne brought a huge bouquet of mixed flowers. We each chose a flower upon entering, and one by one she told us the meaning of the flower we had chosen, what its magical influences were, and why we were drawn to that particular bloom, what it had come to teach us. If you are unfamiliar with the divinatory meaning of flowers, Cunningham's Encyclopedia of Magic Herbs is a very good place to start. So as you see, there are a lot of different ways that people celebrate Ostara all over the world. It's really a time of celebrating the return of the birth of the earth. and to honor the darkness and the light, because without the darkness we can't plant seeds that come up with the element of the light. So we honor the dark and light within us. We honor the fact that they are both necessary for growth and renewal and for abundance. So I hope you enjoy that little reading from the Sabbath Almanac by Llewellyn. It goes over all of the 8 Sabbats, and I will take you through cleaning up my altar now, and then we'll do a little bit of a celebration to honor Ostara. So this is what my in bulk altar looked like. As you see, it's been used in love, and I'm ready to switch up this in bulk altar with my Ostara altars. So I have a few things in this box that I'm going to be using to decorate my Ostara altar. So making an Ostara altar, or celebrating the Sabbats by redecorating your altar and cleansing your tools and your items on your altar, is a labor of love, because it is, it is a difficult process in the sense that it's work. It's work to redecorate your altar, and it's work to clean all the items, and it's work to do that. But at the same time, it's also part of celebrating the earth changing, and the work that the earth does to change, and the world, the earth, Mother Earth, she's always working in our favor. She's always working hard to create a livable environment for us. And just like the earth works to bring in the seasons, and in this case, spring, so we have to work as well. And then there's time to rest as well, and just to be happy and celebrate. But I made myself a tea, so I'm going to drink that while I'm listening to some Ostara music. I don't want to put the Ostara music on too loud, because I don't want to get in trouble for playing other people's music on my videos. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do this. So I just want to encourage you, if you want to start your own altar, your own pagan altar, your own witchy altar. Look, I'm using my bedside table right beside my bed. There's my lamp there. So I just washed off the table all the dust. I dusted behind the table. I pulled the table out and I dusted behind the table. So don't let anybody tell you that you can't have an altar space. You can, and I leave my lamp on there too, so you'll see at the end how it's going to be really beautiful. I've put all my stuff on the bed, and I have some water and soap over there to wash everything. And like I said, I have my Ostara celebration decorations in there, and I'll explain to you a little bit why I chose those decorations as the video progresses. So yeah, feel free to start your altar on your bedside table if you want to. Hi, so I'm done cleaning and decorating my Ostara altar. I'm going to show you what it looks like. But first, I just want to show you that I made myself some Ostara tea, and I made it with a berry and flower infused tea bag. And I actually shared my Ostara tea with my deities. It's right there in that chalice. So this is what my Ostara altar, oops, sorry, I hit my drum here, which I'll be using for the celebration. But this is what the Ostara altar looks like. I put the flower painting in the background, even though it's more of a summer picture because the flowers are in full bloom. I am putting the flowers up in anticipation of the new flowers coming up soon for the spring. So I put an Easter egg on my altar because the eggs symbolize fertility and new life. And I also have 3 fairies, one there, one here, and one here, because to me fairies are they come out in the spring when the weather is warm, and they start going to the flowers just like bees. And I don't know, I just felt like fairies are a very springtime sort of entity. And of course I have all my deities up as I usually do on my altars. And remember, this is a bedside table, so that's why the lamp is over there, right here. And I put like a flowery patterned tablecloth that I found at Value Village at the local secondhand store. And my candles are pink, yellow, and blue, just like Easter eggs. So for Ostara. So the top candle is blue, that represents spirit, and then the 4 other yellow candles represent fire, earth, air, and water. And the pink candle is just for love, I guess. And I have my love spell jar that I did the other night on the new moon in Pisces. Got my athame, my wand, my bell, my cauldron, and that white, the white one, the love statue there symbolizes Aphrodite. I have Morrigan, the Morrigan. I have Danu. Then there's Baphomet. There's Hecate, the warrior goddess. Cernunnos, and last but not least, Ceridwen. Ceridwen with the cauldron of Awen, cauldron of magic. So that is what the Ostara altar finished product looks like. I hope you find it beautiful. Let me know in the comments what you think, or what you're going to be doing for Ostara, or if you're going to be decorating an altar space for Ostara. Remember that you don't need to have all these statues like I do. I just like to have a representation of my deities on my altar, but they do cost a lot of money. So even if you can just get one, I would recommend doing that, because it gives you an insight when you're at your altar as to who you're talking to or who you're communing with. I didn't mean to get so many deities on my altar. It's just that I guess I was just drawn to them. I guess they were calling to me, and they each symbolize something to me through their characteristics. And I'm getting to know them because it's only been a year I've been on my pagan path, but they're getting to know me and I'm getting to know them. And I do feel like there's a trusting relationship between us now, because it was difficult a few times. One time I can remember specifically, I was very angry with all my deities, but we got through that. So also I have my ancestors, my spirit guide, my angel, Archangel Michael, and my spiritual ancestors who passed on before I was born, who I don't know their names, but they're supporting me too. And you have support too. So if you just open your eyes, open your ears, open your heart, you can find out who your support system is in the ethereal world. So that is what the Ostara altar looks like. Now we'll go on to the celebration. So welcome to my bedside table altar. Welcome to my bedside. I have my bed on my left here. My altar back there. The candles are lit. The incense is burning. Yeah, it's a nice little spot for me here beside my bedside, where I, meditate, reflect, commune, cry sometimes, although it's been a while. So I have this book called Celtic Tree Rituals by Charlene Hidalgo. And in this book, there are celebrations in regards to the different types of trees, but they also have most of the sabbats in the book. So we're going to be doing the spring equinox ceremony, March 20 and 21. I have my drum for the chant, but keep in mind, I'm not the best drummer. So I'm going to read the book now for the spring equinox ceremony. March 2021, Ostara. The spring equinox is a day of equal day and equal night. It marks the end of the dark half of the year and the beginning of the waxing cycle. We honor the maiden aspect of the goddess and the rebirth of the earth. It is a day of perfect balance. The purpose here is to celebrate the spring equinox and to experience a position of neutrality, or also balance. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Mauh. Welcome to the spring equinox ceremony. It's a humble ceremony, but it's a ceremony and a celebration nonetheless. Close your eyes and let's share a moment of silence to prepare for the ceremony. So just take some deep breaths. If you feel like you need to, just release any excess energy. And let's celebrate Ostara together. I call in the energy of this day. the energy of the spring. I call in the maiden aspect of the goddess, and I give gratitude for the return of the sun and the beginning of the spring. I call in spirit, the creator, the sustainer, the energy, the life force behind it all. And I call on the spirits of the elements of earth, air, fire, and water. Join us today as we celebrate Ostara. We call this holiday the vernal equinox, Alban, Eiler, Easter, or Ostara. We now begin the season of preparation and the planting of the seeds. The name Easter comes from the Saxon fertility goddess Ostara. The hare and eggs are symbols of the regenerative power that is offered at this time. We celebrate the fertility of nature. We now officially begin a time of cleansing and purification, or making ready for Beltane on May 1st, which is another Sabbat. It comes after Ostara, Beltane. So we're officially beginning a time of cleansing and purification and making ready for Beltane on May 1st. Spring cleaning on the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual level is in order. It is time to clean your house. We celebrate the warming of the earth and the seeds that grow to sprouting and building after the long hibernation. This is a time when we consider the following: initiations, making wishes for the renewal of hope, creativity, wisdom, success in a project, better relationships, wishes and dreams for ourselves, for others, and for the world, vows and expectations, and also new possibilities. So this is where I'm going to sing the chant and play my drum. Okay, let me just get myself organized here. Sorry, guys. Okay. I think it's better with one. What is the teaching of the spring equinox? Celebrate. Our renewal comes from the return of the maiden to her motherhood. Behold, we celebrate new life and the growing green world. We are free to enjoy the blessings of the sun's return. We seek to share our gratitude. What is the teaching of the spring equinox? Be joyful. Guys, I'm sorry, that was pretty butchered. I got this little Istanbul drum here. And yeah, let's just say I won't be making a living off playing drums. Okay, sharing. This is a time to appreciate your own success and fertility. It is a time for giving gratitude. Think about something you've recently accomplished and are proud of. Something that you've gotten through that was challenging, or something that you are grateful for. You can write these things down in a journal if you so wish. The guided meditation. So feel free to close your eyes through this guided meditation. This is a time when there is a balance between the dark and the light half of the year. It suggests that there is a middle road, a more neutral, less subjective, more objective position that one can take when dealing with polarity. A wonderful example of this is the seat of neutrality, which is an actual place in the temple of Mauh in Egypt. This temple was built to honor both Sobek, the Egyptian crocodile god of chaos, who represents the dark, and Horus, the Egyptian falcon god of empowerment who represents the light, holding the tension of the light and the dark in a wholeness without judgment. Built right down the center of the temple is a seat that allows the initiate to sit in the middle of all opposition and polarity. It is a wonderful sit on this stone seat and experience. It is wonderful to sit on this stone seat and experience this place of balance and perfect neutrality. Now, imagine yourself traveling to this beautiful temple in Egypt and walking into the interior of this temple. Here you will see the seat of neutrality that is settled smack between two gods and two temples. Go ahead and step up to the stone seat that sits like a niche carved into a rock wall, standing between two temples. Hoist yourself up to the stone seat and take some time to meditate here. Simply be in this space without any attachment to the two sides of light and dark, good and bad, and any polarity you might be experiencing in your life. Simply be in the in-between place that is dedicated to this middle way. So just imagine yourself on this seat in between Horus and Sobek, the Egyptian crocodile god of chaos and the Egyptian falcon god of empowerment, who represent light and dark. So you're in between light and dark, you're in that middle place. It is now time to return from this optimum place of inner balance and perception. Give your gratitude knowing that you can return to this place and this experience anytime you so desire. It exists strongly in etheric form and is here to help you navigate polarity and help you practice acceptance of what is. This is a good state of mind to remember when life becomes very unbalanced and the negative seems to outweigh the positive. So that was the meditation. That was the celebration that I walked you through. It is now time to open the circle and release the directions. So Spirit, thank you for being here, for powering us, for being with us at all times. Thank you to the spirits of the north, west, east, and south. Thank you for the spirits of the element of earth, air, fire, and water. Thank you to you for being here with me for this celebration. I know it was pretty DIY, but I had a good time creating my altar and being with you and thinking of you while I was creating it, thinking of Ostara, thinking of new beginnings and the seat of neutrality between good and bad, dark and light. There is a space there that we can just be at peace in. So don't forget that in the next few weeks as Ostara is approaching March 20 or 21, the spring equinox here in the Northern Hemisphere. And for those in the Southern Hemisphere who are experiencing the fall, blessed Sabbat to you over there. I have other videos up that have to do with the harvest Sabbat celebration, so you can always check those out if you want. The last video in the Sabbat celebrations that I'm going to do is going to be for Beltane on May 1st, and then I will have completed the full Wheel of the Year cycle. And I don't know if I'll keep doing videos after that, but let me know in the comments if you want me to keep doing these altar recreation videos and celebrations. I can always do that if you want. Thank you for being here. Again, my name is Mauh. Thank you for sticking around throughout this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.